And welcome to the Rondo. We're back again. Marcus is even back in the studio.
They asked for me back and I'm back, you know what I'm saying?
This guy went to go play with Messi in Miami.
The tickets to Inter Miami games are like £500.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And they were $50 before Messi came.
What sort of capitalism
What, for the worst seats as well?
man?
Bro, it was a friendly game.
Oh yeah, but it's like one of the last games of the season, isn't it?
Yeah, because the
Season's done now. Yeah,
It
that makes
was the last
sense.
game of the
Yeah.
season.
All right. Man, them already talking. Introduce yourselves. We got Joe in the studio.
Repping Arsenal.
Getting something on the mic.
That hat is cold though.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's a nice little Gunners
Arsenal
hat, man.
Gunners. Yeah, but yeah.
That's one
Joe
thing that their
repping
club
Arsenal.
can do. They got good merch. I can give them that.
We
And
got,
that's
we
about
got a
it.
good team.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We got Jalen in the studio. What you saying, man?
Back. More debates, more howlers this week. You know what I'm saying?
And we got Marcus back, as I said.
Return
And your
of
guy AA hosting, as you know. On today's podcast, we're going to discuss, firstly, the huge London derby that we had this weekend, Arsenal-Chelsea. Talk about a couple key points in terms of, our Chelsea kind of, coming back after, kind of a game of, I won't say two halves, but a game of, 75% and the last poor 25%. How is Poch sort of, is he looking better after a shaky start? We're going to assess him. And then we're going to look at Arteta and his lineups as well. Then we're going to talk about City and the City and Brighton game, do a little bit of a spotlight on that. Going to talk about the way that it seems that, Rodri is just integral to City's system. You know what I'm saying? Someone said, what is it that Les said the other day that someone said that Rodri's a very systematic player, but even though he kind of is, he's also sort of
He is the system.
He's the system as well. I think that's what he said. He's the system for City. So we're going to talk about Rodri and City, and then we're also going to talk a little bit about Zerbi.
That's not what he said, but
he's been. Oh, you can give the quote later if you want. We're going to talk a little bit about Zerbi. I feel he's been a bit up and down recently. He's had a lot of plaudits, but he's had a little bit of tough time when coming up against top opposition recently. Just going to assess: are we getting ahead of ourselves? Are we maybe being harsh? Is he still a top manager? Because you've got to think about the tools at his disposal. And then we're going to go into Rondos or not. So cool.
There's a lot to cover in one show.
A lot to cover, man.
We get beef on, man.
We won't go. We'll try and cover it. Okay, sweet. All right, cool. Arsenal-Chelsea. What is the first topic here? Poch's tactics.
We're just going to go over a quick game.
Well, a little like game reflection. All right, that needs to be fast, man.
You can go on, you can start.
All right, cool. Jay, you start.
You want me to start?
What's on the game?
It's a nothing game, really. Like, we played poorly, got back in the game, took a draw. Like, there's not really much to say, innit? Like, I think going into the game, a lot of people had, I think a lot of Arsenal fans got ahead of themselves, definitely because we beaten these guys like since 2018 on their own patch now. So I think it was it was one of them games, just like, another win against an inferior side. I feel like Chelsea deserved a bit more credit than that. So yeah, it is what it is.
Fair enough.
I don't like his tone.
Okay, cool. I can see you don't like his tone.
I didn't say anything that was
why
actually
do you-
correct.
Marcus, talk to me about the game. Quick 1 minute reflection.
So going into the game, weirdly enough, even though there's quite a disparity between where we are in the league, I actually was a bit like anticipant. I feel like Chelsea could do something. There's always a chance that Chelsea could do something. I don't know. Maybe it's just like blind luck, but I think our fan base was very excited for this game. The game went very differently to how I thought it'd go. Chelsea scored early on with the penalty, and then we got the second goal through Mudryk, and is it a shot, is it a cross? I don't know.
Of course, man.
You do know.
I did. He says it wasn't.
I don't care what he
Poch
says.
says it wasn't as well. But anyway,
I think he kind of meant it.
Oh, let's move on. I'm not even. We're not spending time on this, bro.
There's one replay
Nah,
where
man.
you look at Mudryk.
they don't like Mudryk.
It don't matter. It's a goal.
No,
It's a good.
Let me
move
tell you
on,
now,
move
There's
on,
one
move on,
replay
move on.
where you see Mudryk look at.
No, but they showed the other angle of that. They showed. I saw the one that you're talking about, and they showed the other
And I
angle,
feel like
and he
he
was
kinda
looking
meant
at
it. Looked at the
Sterling.
back.
Because
So
Mudryk didn't want to go to Arsenal.
No. I would say
When
even
Saka
if
did
Sterling
that to
did
you
it.
lot, that wasn't a shot. That was a cross. I don't care.
What did Saka say?
I don't
He
care what he
lied.
said.
Probably lying.
But do you know what the take home is from that goal? You should tell your 5'8" keeper to position him.
Anyways,
Let me finish my reaction. Anyway,
Great banner.
This guy's good.
the game ended 2-2. And at that point, Chelsea should have won the game. Like I'm really confused as how we let the
Meanwhile,
lead
you're
slip.
2-0 up, yeah?
How we let the lead slip. Even when it was 2-2, we had chances to win the game. Even when it was 2-0, we had chances to score a third goal. Like, at that point, we should be killing these teams. And that's something this team needs to learn in the future.
Fairs. Joel, tell me, 1 minute.
Yeah, you know, it's a decent game. I thought we'd win before the game. But no, Chelsea had a good game plan. Pochettino did really well, especially in the first half. They nullified our threat really well. But we were way too sloppy in that game. Like, we weren't at our best, especially in the midfield. We weren't creating much. So I'll take the draw if you look at the balance of the game. Yeah, they allowed us back into the game and we took the opportunity. And great teams, they pull stuff out of nothing. So I'm happy with it.
Great teams.
Happy enough. Yeah, we are great.
How are you a great team?
Well, we haven't. I think Jalen can attest. We haven't played amazingly, really, all season. But look how many points
Me and
we've
Joe
gotten.
But why is it a great team?
Because it's hard to beat us, even when we're not at our best.
But don't
Great
Chelsea,
great teams win stuff, bro.
Wait us.
Well, you haven't win.
So you're not a great team.
You're not a great team.
We're a great team in the making.
No, you're not. Okay,
Stay on
in
topic,
the
please.
making. So
Yeah, we're a great team in the making.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, Marcus, yeah, like, kind of just moving forward, yeah. What's your thoughts on Poch in this present moment? Because obviously he had quite a shaky start to the season. Chelsea struggling a fair bit. A lot of the fans, yourself included, were unhappy with a lot of his first 11 choices, kind of the shift in formation, the 5 at the back / 4-2-3-1. Looks like he's gone back to a proper 4-2-3-1 now, starting to get a little bit better results as well. And you're starting to look like more like a team. A couple guys looking all right as well in the lineup. Palmer played fairly
You
well.
can ask me a question.
Sterling looking better. So what's your thoughts, man? Is Poch, is he back? Do you back him now? Is that your coach?
I've always backed Poch since he came to the club. I'm always going to back him. I'm not one of these fans asking for Poch to be out. But if you see at the beginning of the season, Chelsea fans have kind of suffered for a while because managers have loved playing players not in their position. And we thought when Poch came in, players were going to be played in the positions that they meant to be played. So when we had Colwell at left back and we had Chilwell as a left wing, it was really confusing to us, especially, as I said before, like in the preseason, he wasn't doing this. Players were being played mostly in their position, apart from maybe Ian Maatsen. But my thing is, even though Poch was picking this system at the beginning of the season, we weren't getting points. So it's like, we're not getting points and you're playing players in the wrong position. It was like, what are you doing here? What's the tactical approach here? How is this making sense?
Yeah.
He's kind of strayed away from that now. Chilwell got injured, so Chilwell no longer plays left wing. I think that's like a saving grace for us. I know he's our vice captain, but him being injured was a saving grace for us. It allows Mudryk to get more starts. It allows Sterling to play down the left as well. But with Poch in general, I think slowly but surely the team is coming together. I don't think we're at our best, or anyway, close to our best. You have to understand we've had a lot of injuries this season. We've had Nkunku out, we've had Bro out, we've had Jackson out, we've had Chukwuemeka out. Like, so many injuries across the pitch.
Testing your depth, man. And you've only spent so little.
Okay, I don't know what point you're making there. But we've never been able to field our best 11. We haven't seen Chelsea's best 11 yet.
Fair enough,
we probably won't see Chelsea's best 11 until January maybe. And then it's going to take time for that first 11 to like kick on as well. You know what I'm saying?
How far away are you from your first 11?
I mean January, like 2 or 3
No, but I'm saying like how many players like?
So obviously, when you're bringing in injuries, you're talking about Nkunku's definitely a starter.
Yeah, and Nkunku, but outside of that, like who else?
Reece James has played like 1.5 games this season. So Reece James,
Is Reece James ever really going to play though?
what do you mean?
Like, is he ever going to really be a mainstay in the side?
But you'd want him to be part of the first team. So
You told me. To be fair, you told me that Gusto is a first team quality.
Yeah,
right
he
back. So
is.
moving on from like,
Okay,
who
but
else is there?
There's
Really
a first team
that's-
quality right back, and there's someone who's better than him.
Okay. So again, who else, please? Like,
Who else?
I just want to know how far away you are in it, because this is just seeming like a normal situation right now. It's not really a.
Players are slowly coming back, but 2-3 weeks.
But like
ago,
the team
we
that
had
played
everyone.
against,
crazy,
the team that played against Arsenal, for example, like realistically, who would have come into that side? Reece James,
Reece
and
James
then
and
Nkunku.
Nkunku, that's it.
And that's it.
And I'd start by Diashile.
Okay.
He-
Okay,
he's
well,
on
it's
his way back.
not really that deep, but anyway, come.
Yeah, I'd start by Diashile.
T Silver's starting to look old these days. That
Silva's-
Nketiah chance when he got caught shoulder to shoulder.
Hitting the channels.
He was injured after that, you know.
Yeah, he don't like channels no more, man. But he's an old man, so I can't blame him.
And it's not only about that. Even in terms of the depth you're talking about, when you have players like Lavia on the bench and things like that, that also helps. The team as well, you know what I'm saying? So we will be better. 100% we will be better.
Okay.
So I do have faith in Poch. I'm hoping he can build a team. It's just about how long it takes him to do it. It might not be like a proper good team until maybe next season.
Wait, how? We've spent £1 billion and you keep saying next season.
What's your point?
Next season.
What's your point? We spent £1 billion on 18-year-olds.
So
That's your money. You spend it poorly.
Okay,
But
but
with,
spend it
with the
poorly.
squad you've got, like, it's still good enough to achieve some decent.
Achieve what?
You can get into a top 4 race for sure.
When have I said we can't?
So is that what you're aiming for?
So that's
this
what you're
season?
aiming
Of course. I've said this one
so it's
for a while.
2 points dropped.
Of course, it's 2.
Yeah, 100%.
When we're
How do you feel?
when we're 2-0 up, it's 2 points dropped.
How disappointed were you to let that 2 goals slip?
I was very we were. I wouldn't say we were in cruise control, but we were pretty comfortable in that game.
Just got. What's your thoughts? Because I feel like the key point in that game kind of swaying against you was Sanchez giving away that goal for no reason. What's your thoughts on him? Because I can't he's had a couple of moments, and even in that game,
You know, before the game started, everyone was doing their Chelsea, Arsenal 11s, yeah, and people were picking their goalkeeper, and I was thinking Sanchez, Raya, and Ramsdale, they're all the same. They're all the same level of goalkeepers. They all make stupid mistakes.
I don't think so,
agree with that.
man.
I think Sanchez is a level below that.
I think Sanchez is definitely a level below.
I strongly.
But as I said, if
He's-
that's what you believe, I don't mind. Innit? Like, I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you, but it's just the facts, bro.
Why you won't even defend Ray or Ramsdale like that?
What do you mean defending? what do you want me to
Two
do,
of them
bro?
are Spanish.
I just feel like
goalkeepers
our
I feel
keepers
like
are.
Ray and Ramsdale are better than.
I feel like they're a category above. But I said I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna argue. No, but I'm saying I'm not gonna argue with someone that disagrees with you because it's just common sense in my opinion.
Okay,
innit?
fair enough. Oh, I thought you meant you're not going to argue.
No,
because
it's just
you think
common.
There's not much.
No, bro,
difference.
it's common sense.
Oh,
Like
okay,
Sanchez is
okay.
not. He's not in
you
that
think
category.
there's a key level difference between.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think
I
Sanchez
Sanchez
is
got
even a
benched
level
last
below that.
season for Jason Steele's like an English journeyman. Like,
Okay, but was Sanchez bad? Was he benched because he was bad?
I think he was
No.
bad. He's just an average
He's
keeper.
just
innit?
a-
Like,
just there.
Because
Because
he was
the person who
average.
came in is just better at passing on the ball.
He's
That's
just
Brighton.
Sanchez is an
he's
average
just
keeper.
bang
bro.
middle of the
Bro,
road
Brighton
goalkeeper. Like.
sold him to you because they don't want him.
Okay, what's your point?
That's
He's
what-
an average
he's
keeper,
average
bro.
keeper,
He's
bro.
just average.
He's average keeper.
So
Rayo
take
was
it like it
bought
is what it
from
is, bro.
Brentford and they didn't want to lose him. Like I don't think Sanchez is the type of player that.
I don't think that makes someone. You're not telling me what makes these players better. What makes Ramsdale?
As I said,
better?
I don't want to go on tangents.
You're asking,
bro,
like, what
but it's
makes
just-
a
it's just
goalkeeper
common
better
sense.
than
It's
another?
common sense.
Okay,
I
why-
don't
why
have time
is
to
that
go
a
into
hard
arguments
question?
about.
I feel like I would say Raya and Ramsdale. I think they're both better, like shot stopping, slightly better.
No.
I think they're both a little less error prone as well. I do think. I think this recent Raya Ramsdale definitely is.
No.
What do you mean?
Bro,
Ramsdale's not
can we
error
not
prone.
get sidetracked
Error
on this?
prone.
Man? We don't
I
have
don't
time
think
for
any of
this.
the points you've
this
made right
stupid-
now are true.
You don't think Ramsdale's not as error prone?
They're not
as
better at
Sanchez?
shot stopping, and they're all very like error prone.
Ramsdale played the whole season last season, right? And yes, he did make like a couple of errors, but I feel like we're gonna see more from Sanchez this season.
How many errors have we seen from Sanchez this season?
He's made a couple. This is just the first that's been punished. Even against Liverpool, he had a big one. We just didn't take advantage of it. I remember when he played it into McAllister for no reason.
Okay, Raya he made a mistake.
No,
this game as
Raya
well.
has not been in good form.
Listen.
I'm not going to defend
We'll
Raya.
get
but I
onto
feel-
Raya
we'll get
also
onto
made a
this.
mistake.
I feel like,
These
in
was just
fact, you know
wasted
what?
time.
Yeah, we've been on it for long.
Yeah,
Let's talk
man.
about.
No, but I'm not even saying. But I think before we obviously move on to Arsenal, I just want to know how do you now measure Chelsea like in comparison to obviously Arsenal? You just went quote unquote toe to toe with us, as Theo said. So where does that leave you guys? Like,
You should be proud.
I don't get the question. What do you mean?
as in like after that game, like you obviously gone toe to toe with a team that's tipped for obviously going for the title.
Nothing's changed.
Where does it leave you?
Nothing's
How do you
changed.
see yourself? The same?
Nothing's changed.
Still that top four race there.
I don't think Arsenal were good. I'll be honest.
Think fine.
And you
yeah,
said
Chelsea fans
you
it.
said after the game that you don't think that Arsenal are going to win anything based on what you saw.
Okay,
so let's
firstly-
move on to that.
Oh, okay, I like
never
that.
said
Yeah.
that. First of all, I said I don't think Arsenal are good. We're good in the game. I don't think Arsenal are good.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to know.
Well, why did you think
what's your
Arsenal
reasons
are
for
good?
that?
Same point as
general.
City, but okay.
Let him talk.
Thank
9
you.
games in. Well done.
No. Man said that with so much.
He just hates us. Like.
With so much contempt. Yeah. Anyway, bro, why don't you think Arsenal are good?
I don't think Arsenal. These lot are gonna argue against.
No,
Arsenal,
no,
Arsenal last season they were a good team last season.
Yeah.
Everything was clicking. There was a clear system in place. It was smooth. Like even from the first game of the season against Crystal Palace, you saw what they were trying to do straight away. I think they have
why it's funny.
dropped
This
the
is
level
so
down.
funny.
They're gonna now say, we're doing what City done last season, finding our way through the season, and we're still picking up points. Yada. You are not as good as you were. Your system is not as good as it was. You're playing Jorginho as your 6, which doesn't make sense. Partey is back. What's going on there? Your manager's making weird decisions.
Damn,
Yes,
they
no,
still
I
couldn't
think-
beat
I
us,
think- I
man.
think that's a fair point.
How sad
But
that is.
I would say I feel like Arsenal's attack, in my opinion, Arsenal's attack this season is quite a fair bit worse. It just doesn't flow.
I mean, it naturally would be though. I mean, I am the Arsenal fan, right? So surely it would be us discussing it.
No, you guys are discuss Arsenal.
You know what I mean?
I'm just
Go-
making a point.
go on.
This guy's so eager. I was going to actually defend Arsenal a bit there and just say that
Before you
I feel like they're-
say that, yes, Chelsea and Arsenal are like far apart, but it's not that far apart. Let me put that out there.
So what's that? Define that. Don't make vague statements,
I
bro.
don't-
Well, if you think they're going to
Define
challenge
it
for
though.
top
If you're
four,
gonna say
then
it,
I
like,
guess
Exactly, it makes sense, no?
you think they're going to challenge for top four.
I don't think Arsenal.
You can't obviously think so.
And I don't think Arsenal are going to win the league. So if Arsenal finish second or third, and Chelsea are challenging for top four,
it's not a mad difference.
For the record, I don't think you're going to get top four, and I think we are going to win the league.
anyway,
that's a
alright,
challenge,
cool.
but
Let's go back to the topic, man.
Yeah, all I was going to say was just I feel like Arsenal's attack is worse, but I feel like defensively they're better. Before Jalen came in, like, let me talk about my team. But anyway, moving forward, I want to talk about, before we talk about like Arteta's, how much time we got? Okay, not too much. We got like 5 minutes. Okay, before we talk about like Arteta's kind of weird lineups recently, I want to talk a little bit about David Raya. So obviously, I think he was a big talking point in that game. Obviously, I think it was I think it was awful on the Modric goal. I mean, to concede a goal like that,
He's just a tiny
he's a
man,
tiny
bro.
guy, you know. And like a couple of other key errors across the game. Who wants to take this question? I just want to basically ask, what's your thoughts on Raya going forward? Should he be Arsenal's keeper? Who wants to? Joe, you're looking like right. So David Raya, should he be Arsenal's number one?
Aaron Christopher Ramsdale, your paternity leave has been declined. You need to come back to the first team immediately. I think it's scary. Raya is scaring me. Like the thing is, with Ramsdale, he had a few bozo moments in it, and we saw it a bit last season. But at least I kind of knew how it would happen. Like, I knew what would cause it. It'd be a stray pass here and there because he takes risks. With Raya, I don't know what's going to happen when the ball's crossed into the box. His positioning, sometimes when the ball's crossed, he's too far out of his near post. Sometimes when the ball's in and around him, I just don't have the confidence I had when, weirdly enough, when Ramsdale was in goal, which I thought was strange because Ramsdale kind of worried me a bit as well. But compared to Raya at the moment, even though the passing stats will show you that it was a good signing because distribution-wise, he technically has been better in terms of completion rate than Ramsdale. But I just don't have that same level of confidence when Raya's in goal. And maybe that's because he's new and he's still getting to know the defenders.
He seems really nervous.
I wouldn't call it nervous. He doesn't seem nervous to me. I don't think he's nervous. I think he's taking risks and sometimes they're not working out.
He's nervous.
I think he's
nervous, bro.
I think
so you think this is Raya's level?
No. So the thing is, he's still confident enough to receive the ball and still try those passes. A nervous goalkeeper is someone who the pass doesn't work out the first time and he just hit
So
it
what's
along the rest of
going
the
on
game.
with him then? Like,
He's just making mistakes. He's just not executing it as
So
well
why
as he
is he
should.
doing
And why is that?
Why is he doing that? I don't think he's getting the feel of the defenders, the positioning they're going to be at sometimes.
No.
Yeah, you can say.
Let me explain
You can say
something.
yesterday they were under pressure.
I feel like
reason is-
mentally coming in and being Arsenal's number one, I feel
Yes,
like the
yes,
pressure's just
exactly.
got to
It's
him.
a whole different
and it can
ballgame,
happen
bro.
to mid-table
Listen,
players.
and it's a situation that Arteta himself has unfortunately created, and he has to understand
Well,
that both goalkeepers are now under more pressure than they were before, and both of them can't handle it. Like it's
We don't know how Ramsdale
No,
Ramsdale
you say
will
that.
react.
You say that, but we've seen
Ramsdale's in the
Ramsdale
media
under pressure,
bitching,
bro.
bro.
We've seen this.
I
That's
don't
what
care
I'm
what
saying.
going on. He's
This
bitching in the media,
is
bro.
a very
He's-
this is a very black and white situation, where it's literally. The reason that the reason we even had to sign Raya in the first place was because Ramsdale could have hacked the pressure. So there was questions there. Do you get what I'm saying? Arteta has
I
created
disagree
a
with that.
situation where both of them have now come in and have to basically compete against each other. Yes, that is normal in football, but you can see it's affecting both of their play. That's. I personally feel like you see if Raya made the mistakes that he's made, like the goalkeeping errors, as in the goals that he's actually let in, but all his distribution was fine. In all honesty, I don't think there would be this discourse going on.
Yeah.
And I feel like the reason as to why like his actual distribution has got worse is generally just because he's nervous and under pressure. That's it. I can't put it down to anything else
Distribution
because
only got worse yesterday. Before
No,
that,
it didn't. Before that, it was terrible as well.
The stats showed
No,
that
he
his
had a-
distribution
no, bro,
rate was better
no.
than
Let me
Ramsdale.
use my eyes.
I think
Let
it's in
me use
between
my
these two. I
eyes,
think
bro.
he's had a couple of good games, a couple of bad games.
Yeah. No, so
Which isn't good enough.
That shows that he has better shot stopping and distribution than
Bro.
Ramsdale.
Listen, the
According to
stats.
the stats.
That's what I'm
the
saying.
stats show he's got better long passing.
So yesterday,
The stats show he's got better long passing, not overall.
bro,
That's
we're
the
forgetting how Ramsdale's distribution declined at the end of last season. We're
Gosh,
forgetting.
listen, and
Brother,
that's what I said.
I'm not gonna lie, Joe. We all watched Ramsdale against Spurs, bro. There was a couple shaky moments as well.
You said Raya.
Right, sorry.
Yeah. I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing any of that. They've both shown lapses of judgment. They've both shown weaknesses in distribution. I don't think it's a great situation. You're choosing right now
Okay,
between
but then
two mid.
But let me ask you this:
It's not
do you feel
easy
like their distribution would be poor at other clubs?
Raya and Ramsdale.
If Raya and Ramsdale were at like mid-table teams, you think their distribution would be this poor, or they would make this amount of mistakes?
Yeah.
I don't agree.
You're probably-
Ryan
I think
didn't make this many mistakes.
less pressure and less.
I mean,
they'd just be less nervous in general.
Raya made mistakes at
Many
Brentford.
mistakes at Brentford.
There were times when he had to
Bro,
dribble
it's
past
Not game
players.
after game, bro. I'm sorry, man. This is too many.
He's making a lot of this recently.
Ramsdale made mistakes against
He's
when he was at
just not
Sheffield
that
United. I
good.
remember the time Arsenal went over there and we cooked them and he didn't.
Oh yeah,
have a
no,
great game.
don't get twisted though. I since when we even went in for Raya in the first place, yeah, I wasn't understanding why Bayern Munich were going in for him and all these other.
Yeah, I wasn't infused
clubs.
by it either,
I didn't really see the.
didn't make this point.
Yeah, there wasn't really a big difference in the level between like a Raya or Ramsdale to me. I've always said if we were going to upgrade Ramsdale, and I thought it would happen in 2024, it would be a keeper that was like a level or tier above.
So you think that
And
it just wasn't?
We didn't go for that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like we just
absolutely.
signed another keeper in the same category, so it didn't really make sense to me, innit? So
and now you're just in a situation.
I don't
where
think
now they both have more.
Yeah, they're
pressure, 'cause
bogging each other
actually
both down, man.
Kind
They-
of that mid sort of level.
It's just a marginal gains thing. I think Arteta saw, okay, Ramsdale's good, but can I get someone who's better at distribution? And he's just gone and bought a goalkeeper who's better at distribution. It's just a marginal gains thing. He's not significantly better than Ramsdale as a goalkeeper.
Okay,
Is that wise?
It's a I mean, I don't think it's a wise way to spend your money, but I mean, if it had come off and Ramsdale and Raya was doing really well,
I
then
mean,
we'd
we
like a
didn't
great
actually
signing.
spend any money on it.
Yeah, to be fair, it's a loan,
so-
and then we have to buy him next year. But
Obviously, Sanchez, Raya, Ramsdale, and even Onana have come into. Well, not come. Ramsdale's been there for a while, but they've come into the league, and we've seen them making a lot of mistakes. Is it just pressure for all of them? Is that what you think it is, or is it like an innate problem with their goalkeeping?
Bit of both.
Edison's
I think obviously it's also like the shift in the way that people want their goalkeepers to play. Innit? Like I know they're obviously very good on the ball, but a lot of the build up now runs through goalkeepers, isn't it? If you even look at like the managers that are now making their keepers come out and play as like a centre half in the build up, to me is like it's a ridiculous amount of responsibility to
a
even
lot,
give a
it's a lot.
goalkeeper. Do you know what I mean? So naturally you're gonna see more mistakes. They're
gonna see more mistakes,
They're not
yeah.
outfield players, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? If you put them in them scenarios, they're gonna make mistakes. I look at like even like obviously Colwell. I'm not trying to get onto. I'm just using this as an example, but. Even him against Arsenal on Sunday, he gave us the ball like 3-4 times. He's a centre half that's supposed to be extremely good on the ball, right? Yeah. So if you put goalkeepers in that same situation and build up, what do you expect them to do? Of course, they're going to make mistakes. Do you
Yeah,
get it?
some of them are just not even used to it because
And managers accept that.
we're in a transitional period where a lot of keepers now they probably only got told to start ball playing and stuff when they hit like
Recently, yeah.
14, 15, 16.
And if you think about it, because people say they're so good on the ball, they often make a lot riskier passes than a normal goalkeeper.
They're tasked with it, yeah. They're given that.
You're going to end up losing the ball a bit
Yeah,
more than
and
others.
as a manager, you just have to accept it. It's gonna happen. You try to minimize it, but one or two times it's gonna happen. You're gonna give away a bad pass.
We need to round up the keeper talk just to do a last little bit on Arteta's lineup. So you're saying Raya out, Ramsdale in, yeah?
I put Ramsdale in the next game. And
Next game, or are you talking about long term? Personally, I feel like one of them is going to have to be sold.
No question.
Unfortunately, it's a game by game basis now because I don't know who's better. I don't know who's better.
Fair enough. All right, cool.
Before we leave this game, what I would say about the game against Arsenal and Chelsea is that Arteta's subs were
we're
a
about
lot
to get
more-
They were very good.
Is that what we're going to get on?
Yeah, it was just last point. Yeah, so just last point was for you, Jalen. So basically on Arteta's lineups recently. So I think there's been a lot of complaints across the fans about the lineups that he's been going along with. But funny enough, though, just before you kind of go into it, I thought the lineup that you started against Chelsea was kind of isn't that your best lineup?
I just, you know what?
Coutinho.
Oh yeah, of course.
What I will say is, Denzel made the point that obviously we're not looking as good this season because. This guy looking at me.
Marcus,
Marcus made the point. Yeah, but he made the point that we're not looking as good as last season. Things were clicking from early. And, we had an 11 that at the end of the day picked itself, right? The team played the team played throughout the whole of the preseason. We went into the season, everyone kind of knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
I feel like this season we're suffering from, we have such a big squad now, and everyone can kind of play some sort of role or contribute to the side, right? Mm-hmm. Arteta, I feel like still doesn't know his best 11. I still don't feel like we don't know. As an Arsenal fan, I don't know.
I know.
No, we don't, because we don't know the structure that he wants to play. I don't know how offensively he wants the team to line up, what he wants to have.
You know, when people are asking Rice to play 8.
Yeah, like, bro, you got. Let me break it down to you this way, yeah? We finished the game with Trossard on the left, Nketiah up top, Saka's on the right, Havertz was RCM for the first time this season. Smith Rowe was left centre mid, and Rice was at number 6. That's the first time we've seen that combination of players. Yeah, that's how we finished.
Midfielders on the pitch.
Yeah, that's how we finished the game. That's what I'm saying. And it's like, that's the 9th game into the season. And I'm looking at that and I'm just thinking like, last season, we would have made like maybe 2 substitutions, but the role and responsibilities of majority of the players would have just been like for like switches, innit? Whereas the difference in personnel now, like they come on the pitch and there's a completely different style of play or different approach to the way that we attack. And I feel like you seen he's tried to play Havertz left centre mid. Like that's one type of left centre mid, right? You've got Declan Rice has tried to play there. Fabio Vieira's tried to play there. Smith Rowe has tried to play there. They all play different ways, innit? So rather than just having, I mean, we could have done that, but he didn't. So I just feel like right now, as an Arsenal fan, my worry is more like I don't know what Arteta's vision for our strongest 11 is, or what our strongest tactics are. Going away from the Chelsea game, I still don't feel like we have that, because he's in a position where he's taking off people like Jesus will have a bad game. Nelly was playing very well, still got substituted, and I just don't feel like he knows who his stars are that he can rely on in those moments, and just should stay on the pitch. Bukayo Saka stayed on the pitch.
Is that not poor from Arteta then?
Yeah, I don't feel like
it's a bit weird given last season. Like he knew who his main.
Yeah, like in my opinion, yeah, like
you meant to add maybe 2 or 3 characters.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. So over the next 6 weeks, I would like to see Arteta literally just have an 11 or have like 12 or 13 players that you're just gonna mainly have as your starters and stick to that. I know you're trying to rotate and give everyone their minutes and keep everyone. I don't care about that no more, bro. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't care. Like, we just please put something in place, keep the tactics the same. Let me actually see where we're at, because it's hard for me to determine that right now. Jorginho's getting way too many minutes, in my opinion. Like, if Rice or Partey is fit, or if someone like Gabriel Jesus is fit, they have to start. Like, it shouldn't even be a thing where Jorginho or Nketiah is getting minutes. It doesn't make sense. You don't
think those guys should just be...
No, they're sub players. Or when someone's injured, yeah, cool, play. That's what they're supposed to be, innit? They're not supposed to be people that are challenging the actual starters, innit? Do you get why? They're not at that level. Yeah. So that's what I'd like to see improve going forward. And I feel like that's something that Arteta really needs to improve on in the next 5 or 6 weeks. So we're going to end up in a position where we're too far off, because this isn't sustainable right now.
You think?
It's not sustainable.
Yeah, it's probably
because
not.
We haven't played. I don't think
playing well.
We haven't put together a full 90 minutes that I'm satisfied with, outside of probably that Man City game, maybe the Bournemouth away.
You were satisfied with the full 90 minutes against City.
In terms of the lineup that we had out and the way that we played, it's not really. No, but not from. Obviously, we didn't dominate the game, but that's how you win that type of game, innit? Yeah, we didn't really have any problems.
What Marcus said about the way we play, we wouldn't beat Miss City the way we played last season. We'd beat them the way we played this season, being defensively resilient.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
I know. But I'm just that's just the point from before.
Remember the 2-1 against
the game? Yeah, I know that game. We should have won that game.
Yeah, where Xhaka got a red card. Yeah. You could play exactly like that and just be a bit more defensively resilient, and you'd be fine.
Which 2-1 is
it's hard.
No. Where Xhaka gave away a penalty. I don't think he got a red card. To be fair, that was a dominant performance. You should have won.
Yeah.
I don't even think they needed to be more defensively resilient. They just needed to score. They just
again, it's like you're playing a game where Saka's not even fit, Partey's not fit. Like, do you know what I'm saying? There's things there that make you play that type of way. I don't think we would have approached it that way.
We got to brush Arsenal guys now. Going overboard, running a little bit late. Cool. So City. So shall we talk about what am I thinking?
You want to get onto Rodri, yeah?
Or Rodri?
The only thing that I'd say about Rodri is, I know you wanted to say that the system's kind of built around him, and him coming back into the team has kind of coincided with this form. I mean, John Stones was injured as well and has just come back into the team. So are we just putting it on him, or is it a thing where like they both come back in and made a difference? Because I feel like a lot of attention has been put on Rodri like he's some superstar now. He's almost getting the same plaudits as like the superstar wingers used to get, which is crazy in the modern game. But
he's a very good DM. Bro.
I understand it, man, but he's not the only person in that City team that's made them tick. Let's be honest about this now.
Okay, yeah, no, I think Stones is a big element as well, but I just feel like whenever you see City without Rodri, the drop off is. I don't actually think
there's no backup.
That's what I was about to say. I don't think it's just his quality. I just think it's also the fact that they don't really have another option there, because we can see that Phillips has just not really been trusted at the club, and he's just not really been able to play well. So I think that's a factor as well.
Yeah, so I think if you were to put down like, is the system based around Rodri, or is Rodri the system? What's your answer to that question?
I think the system's based around Rodri.
You think it's based around him?
Yeah, I don't think Rodri is the system. I feel like they could get other. So you can get other guys to do what Rodri does.
That's what I'm saying.
But City would still be good.
But I mean, when they came to Arsenal, Pep said because he didn't have Rodri, he had to change his system, the way he played, and he had to play the two wide men in the like the half spaces to give them something in the middle that they were lacking when Rodri was there. And he played Rico Lewis there in like the DM position. It didn't really quite work out, so he had to change the way he played in that specific game because Rodri wasn't there in a big match.
I think that backs up his point though, because it's like, look at the alternative options. Rico Lewis ain't the number 6.
Yeah, but doesn't that mean that Rodri enables them to play a certain way, so it flows through Rodri. So if he's not there,
but
the
that's
system
with,
has to be
that's with
complete.
most systems, though, isn't it?
Rodri
Like,
is, if they went into the market, they could get someone
could find
who
another profile. Yeah.
They find who can do what Rodri can do.
Who's
Not
a
to
who's a
his
Rodri
extent.
type in the market? Would you say that they could buy?
Carrick.
No, who's playing football right now?
I don't know.
Carrick managed yesterday.
You can find
He's
someone
not
in La
playing.
Liga. What that would be Mendy guy. I don't know.
Name
So-
one. People say this, but
They
name
actually
one.
signed. They signed one. His name's I think Perron or something. But he's like 18 years old.
But even the
They did
Mendy
actually sign
guy,
him.
someone like him.
Mendy is not similar to Mendy is a better like.
By the way, do you know why Pep said that he
But
actually
you get-
wanted to get something else? By the way, he wanted someone else in that sixth position because
Bernardo
they didn't have
Rodriguez,
the.
yeah.
No. It was mainly because he wasn't there to win the aerial duels. And that means that all he's really looking for in that particular situation is someone that's tall and that can recycle the ball. That's it. Do you get what I mean? That's what he said. That's what he said.
It's quite reductive of Rodri, but
That's what he said.
Yeah,
You
my
watched
player.
Rodri in the last game. That's not just what Rodri does.
Does
I didn't say that's no. Listen to what I'm saying. Joel said, that the reason he played Rico Lewis and whoever it was because they needed to control more of the ball because they couldn't win the duels. So they wanted more control of the ball so we couldn't attack them as much. That's what he was basically saying. But as we said, if the alternative options in that number 6 were better, then we wouldn't be having this conversation. Someone like Phillips, yeah, he needs to hang his head in shame. I'll be honest with you because
Pep made a comment about Phillips just the other day. He said that Phillips can't do the role he needs him to do in high intensity games. So that's why he doesn't play him in that position. He needs a little bit longer, a little bit more
Longer
time
on the ball, but you can say
on the
he
ball.
does turn quite slowly.
Yeah.
Like not to
get
annoy him.
He basically said Phillips is basically gone in January. That's
he's low on
basically
confidence,
what he said.
Phillips.
I'll be honest though, I saw some things from Rodri yesterday that I haven't seen before. The guy's going no, but bro, some of the passes my man was playing
been
yesterday.
doing
He's been
No,
doing that. We've been
no.
telling you.
No, drills.
He talks about like Rodri's
Let me say
so
something.
simple
No,
with
let me say
Saka. I've been
something to you.
telling him
Let me
for
say
time.
something to you. Yeah. When I was watching Man City play against Brighton, yeah, the amount of direct passes that they actually played yesterday was more than I've seen from them for a very long
That
time.
first half
That's
was
not just from
incredible, by the
Rodri. That's not just from
Yeah,
Rodri,
City
bro.
were moving mad.
It was from Foden. Bernardo
is
Silva
a
was even
midfielder.
play. I've
I'm
never
so
seen
sorry.
Bernardo Silva play that
Playing
many
right
direct
centre mid,
passes.
though. Huh? Was he not playing right?
No,
centre mid?
he was playing,
He's playing like this hybrid right wing, right CM role.
but he was mostly in these pockets in midfield, and we were just seeing him distributing the ball, audacious passes. Like this is where this guy belongs. Bro.
It seems like Pepper's basically said to these man that we need to feed Haaland now. It's becoming a joke. You feel me?
Is
And
Grealish
all
fit,
of
by
them
the way?
yesterday.
Yeah, he played.
Yeah.
Oh, did he start?
No,
Yeah, Doku's a starter over.
Cooked Milner, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Surprise.
Yeah.
And
That was nasty.
Zerbi,
Violence
please.
over old people, man. That's peak.
You playing Milner against Doku is just a mad
that's a
decision.
house.
That might be Hal of the
Cardinals,
week. I'll be honest with you. Hal of the
Remember,
month.
the Zerbi and his lineup selections, I've just not really been liking it.
Too much rotation.
That's the guy who doesn't know his best team as well.
much
Yeah,
rotation.
he
I
doesn't.
feel like he does though. That's the
Bro,
thing.
sometimes
He's
Warbeck's up front, sometimes
No, but that's what I'm
Pedro's up
saying. I
front.
feel like. Oh, did you know what is it? The only
The
thing that
midfield is the biggest
the
problem.
only thing that you can give him potential credit for or just allow him is because they've obviously got the Europa League that he clearly also is focusing on it. They've got Ajax this week. So I hear that. But
Shit.
that does not mean that you play Milner away.
They're 16th in their league.
Doku. Yeah.
think
They're
that-
low,
they lost
they're
again
low
today.
still. They're low. But I just feel like, again, Gilmore and Daoud started the season really well in midfield. He's obviously brought in Baleba and I think who else is playing in there with him? I think Gross played there. But it's like, we've seen Gross play right back before and being very comfy there. So why would you play James Milner there when you've got Gilmore and Daoud on the bench? It just doesn't. It's just some really weird decisions sometimes that he makes, and it's just like, with all due respect, you're managing Brighton, not like a Man City, Liverpool, where you can rotate these teams and still be stronger than another side, innit?
And I think it's against City, one of the best
That's
teams.
what I'm saying, bro.
Against
Well,
Doku,
he
you're
does, bro.
1v1
Come on, man.
I don't know. I
demon.
feel like he's got 2 gas. He thinks he can rotate against.
Come on,
you know what I
like-
mean, a top 6
How
side.
can you be
Bro, you're playing
37
a top
you
6
look up
side.
and Doku is your guy, you're up against? Like, that's
And yeah, like amongst all the brilliance of De Zerbi, I just feel like he does this thing very often where he just makes some decisions that are incredibly baffling, fam. Like, as I said, in what world, what manager would play Milner against Doku? Except for Jurgen Klopp. He's obviously he's the guy that does that as
Because
well.
if Klopp doesn't do it free willingly, we'd have an injury.
I feel like it's a thing for the top managers just to do weird things in big games.
see if it works.
Yeah, like I think they get too deep into their tactical
They
analysis
start
and they're
thinking,
thinking
yeah.
outside the box. Oh, if I do this, it's gonna shock everyone. It's gonna, no, like,
I get it,
just
man.
be simple.
And then I
sometimes.
heard someone say that, what has Zerbi done that Michael Laudrup hasn't done, and I felt like that was a bit of a disrespect. But in all honesty,
Yeah,
to the Zerbi, 100%.
Why is it the
I'll get onto this just in terms of like we're talking about Laudrup in the Premier League, right?
Yeah, of course.
Cool. So
But so far, he hasn't, though.
no. Hold
in
on.
terms of, like,
Let's be honest about this.
So
Yeah.
far.
Swansea came nowhere near with Brighton.
Yes, that's the first
Swansea
thing.
finished. The highest finish was 7th or 8th.
Okay, but again,
They came like 8th, 9th.
Okay.
Brighton came 6th.
And again,
So you said nowhere near one.
but if you actually
No, but he
evaluate,
didn't qualify for Europe. They won the League Cup because Bradford beat some teams and got to the final.
that's what I said the other
They
day.
beat the teams in front of them. That's
They
what
did,
They
yeah,
beat
but
them
it's
and they got
context, isn't it?
Europa-
Like,
so they came 7th and they got Europa
it's
League.
context though, bro. Like if you actually evaluate how both managers done, you look at what De Zerbi's brought into the league, and top managers have taken things from him.
Yeah.
We can't say they haven't. Pep
Yeah.
has openly said that De Zerbi's the best build-up manager in the world. That's no coincidence. He never said that about Laudrup. You think he would have said that at the time?
Pep compliments.
Of course he does. Of course he does. But again, there's one thing to compliment
the
it.
counter-attack so
Listen,
good.
my friend. It's one thing to compliment
good.
it.
We have never played. We have to be so careful.
It's one thing
City
to compliment
five,
it.
Brentford one.
Listen, it's one thing to compliment it, but it's another thing to actually adopt it within a short space of
Okay,
time.
fair
And he
enough.
did
Yeah, he
actually
does
do
do
that.
that.
He
Yeah.
adopted a lot of what De Zerbi brought, and so have other managers now. And De Zerbi's still trying to think outside the box. So
tactically,
yeah, tactically, I definitely feel like he deserves credit. In terms of,
but in terms of produce,
Swansea played very good football as well.
of course they
they
did,
did
but
play
other managers weren't going like taking what Swansea were doing and saying, yeah, let's do this.
Tactically advanced.
So if
then,
if Swansea were doing that
wasn't.
now, do you feel like managers would like Pep and Klopp and blah blah?
well,
would
to,
take
to,
it
to,
little things
execute,
from
to
them?
execute that now,
Yes,
they'd
I'm,
have to.
I'm asking you if they were here now, do you think that people would do that?
I feel like it's a.
I don't feel like they were
difficult
playing
question,
like
because
football like that. That was really
because
getting people off their feet.
because to what Marcus is saying is to execute the football that they were playing back then. Now you'd have to be more tactically advanced.
Yeah, so as I said, if Swansea were in the league now, playing under Michael Laudrup, do you feel like Pep, Klopp, Teta, blah, 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 would take certain build-up structures?
Well, they would. Well, because
I don't feel like they would.
They could though, because in order for them
don't
to
feel like they would,
execute
bro.
what they were doing back then, Laudrup would have
I feel
to
like
level
that,
up,
but
but we
that's
don't know if he would. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but again,
knows?
even if I look at like how De Zerbi prepared some of his players, yeah, like to move on to other clubs, I feel like he's coached certain players better than what players does Swansea have to really like go to top 6 sides and other.
Doesn't that make Laudrup a bit better then?
Why? He didn't finish as high, so why does that make him better? This is what I don't understand.
What
It's
I'm saying
like,
is he had players who were a lot more limited, and he got more.
how do you know that? Maybe they both started with limited players, and De Zerbi made them better than Laudrup made his players
Potter developed
because
some of
certain
those
players-
by the way.
Thank you.
to a
Not
certain
to-
extent, but he
to a
took them to
certain
another
point,
level.
to a certain
Yeah,
point, yeah.
exactly. So maybe so in my
Potter
opinion,
finished 8th. Zerbi finished 6th.
there's a difference. Yes, like, bro, I don't
I'm saying
understand.
it's not. Is it a massive jump?
Zerbi took up Potter's team. All I'm saying is, I do think that Zerbi is a very good tactical coach, but in terms of produce, right now, I feel like some people have got too far away,
Okay, so
yourself included.
In what sense? What did I say that was too far ahead?
You at one point you were telling me that we should sack Klopp to get Zerbi,
And I still believe that is the case. Yes, 100%. Because
and I'm telling,
okay, so do you think that De Zerbi can't manage for a top 6 side?
I think he can, yeah.
So what have I said that's wrong?
No, but I don't think he's
Over Klopp.
entitled to.
Yes, because I've already said this. That's just because of my opinion on Klopp. I don't feel like he's going to get any better than what he was before. So it's time to change, isn't it? Before he takes them even further down. That's what I've said. Huh?
Was he bad before? Klopp?
Yes, last season, bro. We were discussing it the other day.
You're saying he's not going to get any better than last season.
Listen, we were
He's
discussing.
already
definitely
better.
gonna
What
be
do you mean better than last? Yeah, but you're better than last season. But Liverpool's aim is to win trophies. Is he going to take Liverpool to majors?
But who's going to
The
say?
answer's no.
Who's going to say Zerbi's going to win majors? That's what I'm
Yes,
talking
but
about.
that's
People
why.
getting too
But
far
you
away.
would take.
We need
You
to
would
see
take.
more from him.
You
Like
would
I said,
take.
right now,
You would
but
take the risk to
Zerbi
do
right
that, bro.
now, he's barely above the
So
level
they're
of what
going to
we've
ask
seen
you
from.
what more could you see from Zerbi anyway?
Because he took Brighton to FA Cup semi-final last year. Let's not forget that. He took them to Europa League.
And then he lost. What's your point?
Yeah, lost to Man United. They're a better team than Brighton. Anyway, and then he got into Europa League. So like he's doing really good things with the club. Obviously,
he's
he's had a little slump in form.
Yeah.
His
Listen,
first-
listen,
They ain't
listen.
been good in Europa League. They got back 2-2.
Okay,
against
so
Marseille,
it's
but
his
they
first
were
little
You're saying-
challenge.
you're
in
saying
Europe.
you're saying it's premature.
What I'm saying is, Zerbi is looking good so far. Well done to him. But I need to see a little bit more before I'm.
What do you
thinking
need to
that
see?
He should just.
What do you need to see?
I need to see. I need to see a lot more.
What?
Before I
What do
think
you need
that-
to see?
that
What do you need to
someone-
see?
Tangibly, what do you
Yeah,
need to see?
tell me what you need to see,
What
bro.
does he need to do?
Just do something like what he's doing. Yeah, keep it for a sustained period of time before I'm going to say.
So finish sixth
I want
again?
this guy to be finish 6th again.
Yeah, but that's like
Before I
over.
think he should
But
be
that's
the
like
heir to
over.
Klopp,
It's
yeah.
like overachieving,
Yeah, I think
though,
he should
bro.
do that. Yeah.
It's overachieving. I don't think he needs to.
He needs
do
to
that
continue to
get a
overachieve for me
bigger
to
job.
think that he can displace Jurgen Klopp. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's you thinking about Jurgen Klopp.
I feel like that's what
I've
most
said
people
already.
will think, bro.
We had this conversation the other day.
For example, like when we the other day we talked about Emery. Yeah, Emery took teams who are kind of like mid-table teams, made them solid top 5, top 4 teams in their league, and he done that season after season whilst also winning trophies. This allowed him to go to big clubs like Arsenal because he had the resume to do so. Zerbi hasn't got that yet.
So you don't think if Pep,
I'm not saying he can't.
left, if Pep left next season, you don't think Man City would try and sign De Zerbi?
They probably
He
would,
might,
but
Exactly.
Yeah.
So why does
it's
he
a
need to
risk.
prove that it?
It's a
Why
risk,
does he?
no.
Of
It's a
course,
risk,
it's a
though.
risk. Of
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
yes. But that's what my point was last season. That it was worth taking the risk because I don't think Jurgen Klopp is going to take Liverpool to another major. So why wait?
But
Do you get what I'm saying? Then you might miss the window. Arsenal done that ourselves, bro. Arsene Wenger, we tried to give him this respect that you lot are trying to give him, yeah, and said to him,
Like
you know
those
what,
Converse.
2014 time, he should have gone. Pep came. Klopp came. They both said that they loved Arsenal the way that we played.
Yeah.
We could have got both of them. No,
when you
we
the
gave
guys-
respect to Arsene Wenger. Said, you know what? Nah, I feel like you might be able to bring this back.
But Wenger-
let him decline. Didn't bring it back. Was in a similar situation in terms of finances.
Showed a lot more signs of being washed. than
How?
Klopp has.
How? He didn't finish outside the top four. Your manager did.
When you're not talking about stability, you
You
said
know,
No,
we're
but
talking
not in
about
2014.
2014,
That's
when
what I'm
we
talking
should've-
about. That's when we
2014.
should have got rid of him.
Yeah.
You're in
But
that similar
I just feel
stage.
like Wenger was just always like
No,
this.
bro.
Klopp has shown that he can do a bit of this. Like after
Why is that-
we,
but-
like the season before.
Where's
the
this?
21,
Where's this?
22.
What's this? Where's this?
Majors.
Where did he?
Finishing fifth
No,
last
no,
year
no,
is
no,
not-
no. I'm talking about since the majors came. At what point? What's this?
We just we get.
basically after your drop off, you haven't actually won a major.
You
You
haven't
haven't
won
been
the major,
close.
but we come so close. Though.
They went to the Champions
So I'm
League.
confident that you can
They
do
haven't.
it.
Okay, you've
Because
been
the
close.
Champions
You've been
League final,
close.
we lost the league
You've
by
been
a
close.
point
You've
on
been
the
closer
last
than
day.
you've been closer than you went to fifth. So if this season you now finish, let's say you finish third this season.
Yeah.
Is that now someone that you feel like could go take you to a major?
Yeah, it depends how we finish third. I
Because
think it depends.
me and Marcus were discussing the other day, and we were basically saying, you know what? If a manager at a top side, such as the Arsenals, the Liverpools, you know, the Uniteds, we should be aiming for winning majors pretty much every season, innit? So if a manager goes 3, 4, 5 seasons without winning one, why are they still at the club?
Even if they're challenging, they shouldn't really be at the club.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the standards.
No,
That's the historical standards of these
I hear
clubs.
that in terms of standards, but then I just think.
No,
Klopp can.
because again, you like the idea of Klopp.
He sounds like we did in like 2010.
Yeah, and
2011,
that's exactly what I'm
I had
trying to
that
say
love
to
for
you. You're
Wenger.
falling
I
into
believe
that
Wenger
same
could
trap.
do it, fam. Happy birthday, by the way. Yeah, I believed he could do it. Like,
You're falling into the trap where you're giving Klopp so much respect
Yeah.
that you're not actually judging him for what he's actually doing
what
right
he's
now.
You got to think about the standard
And the
of
fact
the
that
league
by
at
the
this
end, stop saying the standard of the league
Yeah.
because Liverpool's aim is to win
I'm
majors.
not hearing Zerbi coming for Klopp, man. I just can't give him that.
As I
so.
said, with Liverpool, they went through such a long period of like.
Okay, but bro, I know you're.
They weren't winning anything. So
I'm not-
when they have someone who's can even get
And that's
close
fine.
to it, they
Bro, that's-
hold on
I
to
hear,
that.
I hear it, but again, it's like you've gone from winning the Champions League to then winning the league in back-to-back seasons. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you didn't go 5 seasons without, this is the 4th season. So let's say he doesn't win one this season, and then next season, if you
Yeah.
go 5 seasons without, are you still vouching for him to stay? That doesn't make sense. For a team that has standards to win majors, you've got back to that position. The only way you can now judge success is to win further majors.
I think you just got to add context to those 5 seasons though, because you think about after we won the league, the season that happened after. FSG refused to sign.
how Wenger- that's how
you
Wenger
see,
survived.
But then again,
in 10 years, people are not going to be looking at context. They're going to look at what.
bro,
Champions
that's
League is.
exactly what
but
my
I feel
point
like
is.
Klopp will leave with another major before he leaves Liverpool.
I don't think he will.
Let's hope so.
Oh well,
It's impossible.
we'll see.
Impossible.
He's got a lot more of a chance of winning a major than Arteta, who you're backing.
He
fully.
doesn't.
He
Still.
does.
He doesn't. Because
He's
Klopp needs
come closer
money.
than your guy
Allegedly.
ever have.
Klopp needs money.
Alright, let's
Allegedly.
keep it quiet. We'll move forward.
Klopp needs money allegedly.
Oh,
and he still
okay,
can't
cool.
do it. So
Okay, cool.
you know,
Okay, cool.
it's unlucky, mate.
All right, great one. Rondos.
I got one.
All right, cool. What's it?
Pep Guardiola is going to ruin Phil Foden's career, and he's not going to let him get to the heights that he could have got to. And I feel like the reason that he's done it is to make him a more useful, player for Man City as a team. And the fact that he said I think it was 2020, he said Phil Foden at 24 or 25 will play like a more defensive-minded midfield position. He said that in an interview.
that what he
But he said, I'm trying to teach him the ability to play as a left winger, a right winger, a false 9, and a cam to make sure he's more effective for the side. Now, is that the best way to develop a young player such as Phil Foden, who could have been in that? You know when they discuss like the Musialas and the people like that, and they say who's the best out of these lot? Foden should be in those conversations, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
He should be the
probably
best because that's where he was. He came into the Man City team at 18. He came into a side that had David Silva and De Bruyne, got rotation minutes in that midfield. Seemed like that's the position that he was going to play in. And Pep has always told us, even if he does play out wide, my plan is always to transition him back into a midfielder. However, when the more experienced players such as David Silva retired, obviously Kevin De Bruyne has played less, Gundogan's now left. We've seen Pep recruiting younger players to come in and kind of take that responsibility and those minutes away from Phil Foden and not really made that transition. You look at someone like
Pep
Nunes.
also said that Foden can't play the role in midfield.
Yeah, exactly. But then that's a direct contradiction to what he said a couple
what
of
he
years
said
ago
a
when he
couple
first
years
came in and was
Okay,
younger,
but
innit?
that's
So,
what he thought Foden would be.
but again,
Maybe Foden hasn't become that player.
I don't agree with that. So him buying, Kovacic, him buying Nunes, Bernardo Silva used to play right mid for Monaco, has come in, played centre mid, gone back to right. Like it's clear that Pep can teach players to do that, innit? people say that Phil Foden can't defend, Phil Foden can't play in midfield, and have that defensive awareness that he's playing. That's you're supposed to coach that, bro.
Pretty good the last game in terms.
That's what I'm saying.
So in your eyes, he's a midfielder.
In my eyes, Phil Foden is a midfielder of the David Silva ilk, and that's where he should be playing. I think people think that he should be playing in the De Bruyne position. You've seen Alvarez has come in and played it better than him. So where do we go next? It's like if he plays as a right winger consistently, how good is Phil Foden going to be? Where is his ceiling?
He can be pretty good there as well.
I don't think he's good. I don't think he's even yesterday against Brighton. You're looking at the way that he played, and a lot of his best work came kind of in these pocket areas. He was making driving runs through the center of the pitch. A lot of like lofted balls over the top for Haaland. Very good. Why can't you do that from midfield? Pep Guardiola is probably one of the best coaches in the world. He should be able to teach someone like Phil Foden, who has a very high IQ, very high technical ability, and he should be able to teach him how to play that position.
Put the bib on show. And I just want to ask.
Why should I put the bib on?
No. I just want to say, why do you feel like Pep doesn't want to play Foden?
So I was actually thinking about this as well. The reason that I don't think Foden is playing in that position is mainly because Pep has switched how he wants to play. I think if he had stuck to kind of his old philosophies, maybe Phil Foden would be playing in midfield right now. But because he's moved more towards, a bit more aggressive, a bit more robust, as he said, a bit more pragmatic, he wants success right now. So he doesn't have time to take risks with Foden. But I don't think it's even that big a risk. In all honesty, he was dominating games when he was 18, 19 in midfield.
And you think
do you get what I'm saying?
You think he's basically
he's getting to 23
now, and he might ruin him fully.
Foden's in that position where it's like, if he doesn't take off in the next year or 18 months, he might end up like Ross Barkley, bro.
Oh,
right, come on.
He might end up like Ross Barkley or Dele Alli.
Man, he's way too talented.
They go from the top and they fall very quickly or they stagnate, bro.
For one season, Ross Barkley was very talented. I know what you're going to say.
Was Foden more talented than Ross Barkley was?
Yes.
You see
what I'm saying?
This is how you're going to get the Instagram people on that.
But all I'm saying
Ross
is,
Barkley was more talented than Foden. That's my wrong.
all I'm going to say is, we'll get into that. We'll pass it.
What's wrong with you, brother?
Just 1 minute before we end the show. Yeah, all I'll say is like, I do believe that period between like 22 and 25 is really important for a player's career.
Play every week.
And right now, I don't feel like Foden is in the ideal environment or in the best circumstances for him to fulfill like his potential. And as I said, his potential could have been being one of the best midfielders of a generation.
What club another Rooney, like that level?
No, but that's what I'm saying. I don't know what the outball is for him now because he hasn't had that development as a midfielder. But I feel like if he went to like a Barcelona or something, they would treat him completely different.
Do you think he might have to leave City?
I think to get to that level that he wants to be in as a midfielder, I don't think he can start at Man City.
What?
I don't think he can stay at Man City. Sorry.
Saying that.
Come to Arsenal. We need the LCM.
Okay, man. Thank you guys again, man. That's the Rondo for you.